Thank you for joining us. I'm Steve Fishbeck with the Charlotte-Mecklenburg Police Department Public Affairs Office, and today we're here to speak about diversion and an amazing opportunity that is made possible between a partnership between the CMPD and the Lowe's Corporation that will take our diversion program to the next level. But before we talk about where we're going, we have to talk about where we've been and how we got to this point. In 2012, the CMPD identified a major problem. The number of juveniles committing crimes going into the criminal justice system to only come out and reoffend again. There had to be some way to break that cycle and make a difference in these young folks' lives before they went into the system. In January of 2013, a youth diversion program received its first referral. The program allowed young people between the ages of 10 and 17 who've committed low-level offenses to be diverted from the traditional criminal justice system. Those juveniles underwent months of classes aimed at teaching them life skills and how to function in society, both at school as well as in an occupational field. Since 2013, nearly 4,000 juveniles have successfully completed that diversion program, with more than 5,000 referrals being made. In 2016, the CMPD expanded its diversion with another program entitled Reach Out. That's a voluntary program for folks 16 to 24 years of age, and it was designed to give those participating first-time offenders the resources, skills, and support services needed to help them become contributing members of our society. The Reach Out program also mandated community service hours in an educational environment. By 2020, nearly 200 young adults have taken part and completed more than 3,200 hours of community service. 85% of participants were employed by the time they finished the program. So speaking in total about that juvenile diversion program, 92% of those juveniles have not reoffended, Let me give you that figure again. 92% of juveniles going through the CMPD Juvenile Diversion Program have not reoffended. So that's where we've been. Let's talk about where we're going. You're going to first hear from the Chief of Police, and then you're going to hear from Representative Lowe's, followed by Captain Norman Garnes of our Community Outreach Division. Chief?
Thank you, Lieutenant Fishback. So it's an honor to be here. Thank you everyone for being here and covering this as well. So I want to kind of go into how even this began and where the idea came from. You've heard the great work that we do every single day with our youth diversion programs. I've often gone to meetings and spoken to community members about the great work that we do and how proud I am of those programs. And at one point, I was at a meeting about 2 years ago, and I was talking about our youth diversion programs and what differences we've made throughout the community. Well, I had a young man who was probably in his early 20s came up to me and said, "Hey, we're very excited about what you do for our young people, but you're missing a segment of society that still deserves a chance, that still deserves that opportunity to turn their lives around and to become productive members of society." And I said, well, I asked him a little bit more about what is he referring to, and he's saying the 18 to 24-year-old adults that are finding themselves getting into that cycle of the criminal justice system that can't get out. As I thought more about that, my mind went directly to the success that we have with our youth diversion program. How can we replicate some of that and tailor it to the 18 to 24-year-olds that we can also take out of that cycle of the criminal justice system? So I had the pleasure and honor of sitting down with Lowe's CEO Marvin Ellison, and we were discussing many topics. Well, this topic came up, and I started to explain to him what I was wanting to do and what the process would look like. And before I could finish, he stopped me and said, "Chief, I want to tell you right now, we want to be sponsors for this. We want to be able to help you get this going and move it forward." And so for me, that just shows the commitment that Lowe's has to our community and what they are doing to make sure that we have safe communities, and we have individuals that have opportunities that otherwise would not have had opportunities. So I'm really, really proud to be able to say that we're going to kick off our adult diversion program with partnership with Lowe's. And so now I want to introduce Lowe's Regional Vice President, Han Pham, to come say a few words. Okay.
Thank you, Chief Jennings, and thank you to the CMPD for having us here today. I am incredibly honored to be representing over 12,000 Lowe's associates across the Charlotte area who share a belief that the strength of our company is directly related to the strength of our communities that we currently serve. Lowe's is proud to call Charlotte our home, and we are grateful to have worked with the Youth Diversion Program over the past several years. From early in my career, I learned to appreciate the value of training. I myself worked my way up from being a part-time cashier to now overseeing over 138 stores in Lowe's highest profile region in the country. I know firsthand the impact it has when someone takes the time to teach you new skills, and it empowers you to rise above challenges, and it puts you on a path for a better future. Through its youth diversion and other community programs, CMPD has been providing valuable skills to help young people who are at risk, and again, helps them get on a path to a better future. This is exactly why we initiated this new partnership we are discussing today. Lowe's is contributing more than $48,000 and investing the time of our local leaders who are here also with me today. They are absolutely passionate about developing and training our associates for them to have a better career in their lives. This is a valuable job and training classes that will give these young adults the skills to improve their employability. This will also help divert them from the criminal justice system and empower them with the ability to positively contribute to the community. I see this as a natural fit with other commitments we've made here in our hometown to break down barriers for economic mobility and support skills training that creates pathways to sustainable, well-paying careers and strengthens our workforce. We anticipate that we will be able to provide opportunities for qualified participants in stores in the local area or anywhere we may have openings. And these same young people will become employable for other businesses, not only in Charlotte, but beyond. We believe this program will pay long-term dividends in the lives of the participants we will be able to impact. And in the communities they will go on to impact for years to come. And we're just super thrilled to join forces with the CMPD to get started. So with that, joining me to talk more about the Adult Diversion Program is Captain Norman Garnes. Captain?
Thank you, Han. The Adult Diversion Program is for young adults 18 to 24 years old who are first-time offenders and have committed lower-level offenses. Participants cannot have a prior arrest and cannot have committed a violent crime. All participants are required to complete between 25 to 100 hours of diversion classes within 3, 6, or 12 months of the contract date. The amount of class time will correlate with the level of offense they have committed. Our staff includes a sworn officer, diversion specialist, a program manager, and our lieutenant. Some goals of the program are to redirect young adults through decision-making, education, and engagement, as well as reduce young adult arrests. Requirements of the program are participants must sign a waiver admitting to the elements in writing and also agreeing to complete the program in lieu of arrest. The victim must have buy-in. Participants must not get any new criminal charges. They also must attend regular meetings with their program specialist. They must comply with recommended treatment, education, and employment opportunities. Also participate and pay victim restitution. And some of the life skills programs include job readiness training, a financial literacy course, and theft awareness classes. And benefits of the program are reduced system costs, avoid the labeling effect, and also to keep young adults employable. And with that, I'll turn it over to Lieutenant Fishback.
Thank you, Captain, Chief. To our Lowe's representatives who are here, thank you for joining us and the support and the continued partnership. So at this time, we're going to open it up to questions. To our media partners, please keep your questions specific to the topic at hand. And then, as always, try to help me out. Once we have a designated speaker up here, try to ask your questions of that speaker then. Yes, ma'am.
Congratulations to CMPD and to Lowe's. My question is in regards to, you mentioned several different things like helping learn about debt. Where will the programs and job training, where will the actual individuals go for these type of programs to get that training?
The captain's going to join us to answer those questions. Thank you.
Yes, the participants will go to the PAL Center over on Oak Lawn Avenue and attend the classes over at the Oak Lawn Center.
West Charlotte.
Yes, yes, ma'am.
So are you saying as soon as they complete the requirements and classes, will those automatically offer them a job, or is it they can apply for that job and maybe have a preferred access to that job?
No, that's a great question. Lowe's, as they said, will, if there are openings in their departments and in places for placement for these individuals, they will put them there. But the unique thing about this is we have opportunities not just with Lowe's but other places to have these individuals seek employment. And the other thing is we're not just saying as a requirement, you take these classes, we're going to get you a job. So the idea even behind the classes is to get their mindset into being productive citizens and to say that not only is that job going to be waiting for you or we're going to help you find employment, they have the desire and the motivation to now get out and work. So that's really the concept behind employment when we're looking at employment over the course of this program.
And just one more thing, Chief, you're up there. How important is it for people to have a job when it comes to committing crimes? What role does having a job play in diverting crime?
There are so many roles of in being employed that takes in being able to divert crime. One, you actually have a purpose. You're getting out there and you're working. Obviously, the financial piece of it is very simple. That now you're making money that you can support yourself. You can do certain things that you would normally be able to do if you did not have those funds to do so. And also mentally, the fact that you are able to look at things that you can accomplish and have more faith in yourself to be able to improve. And when you get into the job, the motivation to even seek additional jobs with that is promotions and different assignments and tasks. So there's a whole lot to it. It's not just a matter of, hey, now I have a job and I'm going to make some money. I think it goes a lot deeper than that when we start talking about employment.
I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You said the recidivism rate of the younger group is very low, which is really good.
Yes.
Now you're looking at an older group here. I'm definitely assuming that you're looking for that recidivism rate to kind of mirror that of the younger group.
Yes, the recidivism rate, when we start looking at the adult diversion program, is certainly going to be a measure of success. You said we look at to be able to mirror that. I want to exceed that with the adult. I want to make sure that we are getting that mindset of each adult that's going through this program to change and say, I can break this cycle. And it's not just for that individual, it's for their families, maybe their kids that they don't get into the criminal justice system, and the kids after that. So we might be looking at generations of success, and that's certainly our goal, to be able to do that. So if we can accomplish that, we can save a lot of court time, a lot of money, a lot of calls for service, and I think that it's going to just go accumulate through the success that we see in the community. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
And Chief, we've seen a lot of crimes lately involving young people or young adults, violent crimes. How do you hope that programs like this will cut down on those numbers in the future?
Yeah. So with the crime that we're seeing with our young people, it's discouraging because with a father of 3 sons myself, I can't imagine, they're older, but I can't imagine them at 13, 14 years old feeling like they need to carry a firearm. So that's discouraging to see that. But what I can tell you is we're a small piece of the answer, a small piece of the solution, because there are so many grassroots organizations that are doing great things throughout our community with our young people, yet we still see the violence that we're faced with today. And so that just shows you how much more work we have to do. But if we can save that one person, if we can break that one cycle, I think this is time well spent throughout our community. So we hope to be able to be very successful in this and see the results of that in the future. Yes, ma'am.
So in simple layman's terms, sort of explain to someone, so how would this work? Does it start at the prosecutor's office, or just explain, so say a young individual commits some type of offense.
Yes.
Where does this process begin so the general public understands how this is a benefit and a deterrent?
I'm going to let Captain Garn speak with that, but I will tell you it begins immediately, and that our officers are being trained to make sure that they are able to identify people who would be good candidates for this program. Do you want to speak more on that?
Yes, sir. You hit it on the head. It starts with the officers. When they come into a young person, a young adult, 18 to 24, and they meet the requirements, low-level offense, first-time offenders, no prior arrest record, then that officer will then go through our internal system and alert our diversion specialist, say, hey, we have a good candidate or applicant for this program. So it starts with the at our patrol officer level or SR, school resource officer level, and then our diversion team will get right on it and reach out to those folks.
Okay, and with the older individuals that aren't in school, it'd be just basically the officer that would...
Exactly. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. That's it. It's the officer that, well, it'll start at that officer level.
initiate it.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a question, maybe for, is it Han? We're seeing kind of a worker shortage across, the United States and here in the Charlotte area. How will this help Lowe's in its hiring efforts to have people who are trained in your processes?
No, that's a great question, and I think that this will be extremely helpful for us, currently today. So nonetheless, I know that anyone, after they complete this program, not only will they build some incredible skills, but they'll also gain an incredible family, because that's where we're at with Lowe's, is that you gain a family when you come work with us.
Any other questions for Ms. Pham?
As we conclude today, again, I have to thank all of our partners in the room. It's great when we can bring everyone together and come up with some real solutions for our community. And to our media partners in the room, we are going to hang out afterwards, members of the Public Affairs Office, to help you out with any other needs. And thank you for joining us as normal. And to our community and to our media partners, if you have any follow-up questions or anything we didn't go over during this press conference, feel free to hit us up in that CMPD PIO email address. Thank you.